Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Real Thought, and you are officially watching my first video. On this channel, I'm going to be discussing, reviewing, breaking down movies, shows. I might dive into a few other things. I haven't really decided that, but for now, this is what I'm doing. Quick intro on me. My real name is actually Eric. It's not Real Thought, obviously. I'm 29 years of age. I was born in Caguas, Puerto Rico. I was born, not raised. And the reason I'm doing this is because browsing on YouTube and chatting with the fandom of a lot of my favorite shows and movies is something I already did for fun. I wouldn't really necessarily call it a hobby, but I'd get sucked into a lot of debates. Sometimes it'd get heated, so I mean, the way it works, I mean, if you respect me, I respect you. I have my opinion, you have yours. As long as we all understand that, we're all good. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much time on this, so let's get right to it. Today I'm going to be talking about Wonder Woman 1984. This is a movie I've been anticipating a little bit because I did enjoy the first one. Out of all the DCEU movies, Wonder Woman's probably the one I enjoyed the most. Um, I did not get to watch Batman versus Superman, although I've heard really bad things about it. So I'm not too eager to watch it, but I'll probably get to it at some point. But Wonder Woman, I definitely enjoyed more than Justice League. I enjoyed it more than Man of Steel. So it was a little bit anticipated. I was fortunate enough that I had access to HBO Max with the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of theaters in my area are actually shut down, so I hope everyone who was actually working at those movie theaters that they're actually in a good position right now to provide for their families or provide for themselves because this pandemic is hurting a lot of people and it's just crazy what's going on. It's officially the 1st of January and we're still dealing with this. But anyway, I don't want to get sucked into that. Wonder Woman. I did not like it. I honestly did not like it. Um, the first one kind of reminded me of Captain America, the First Avenger. I did enjoy Captain America a little more, but I did enjoy Wonder Woman. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I was hoping it'd be better, but compared to the other DCU movies, it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it. I cannot say the same thing about this one. Like, one thing I did like was Pedro Pascal. He is one of my favorite actors. Actually, the first time I watched him was in Game of Thrones as Oberyn Martell. I really hate that he died, but I mean, Game of Thrones kills everybody off, so it is what it is. But his character was a little crazy. I think Pedro Pascal did the best with what he had, but he was definitely the most entertaining character. I like the life lessons in this movie. The don't judge anybody by your appearance or everything that you do, every choice that you make has a consequence. And I thought the competition at the beginning was pretty cool too, but oh my gosh, I did not enjoy this movie at all. I was actually informed that the plot was very abstract and that it felt like a children's movie, so I went into it with an open mind. That is exactly how I felt about it, to be honest. It just felt like a very cheap PG TV movie, like a TV superhero movie, not something you would see in the cinema. Because I was so used to watching back-to-back superhero movies. Like, even if you watch the X-Men movies, which I think are terrible at this point, but I know they actually feel like superhero movies. This one felt more like a family movie, which is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe it's because I'm not a child, or maybe I'm just not a family movie person. I don't know. But I didn't enjoy it. The plot was very abstract. I don't like the idea of a plot being controlled by magic. Because in the MCU, you have the Infinity Stones. And if you watch Infinity War, and Endgame, a lot of it revolves around the Infinity Stones and the power that they hold and what you can do with them, what you can undo with them. But there's so much else going in those movies. I mean, it's a little unfair because they also had like 20 something movies, stories, depth to go with these movies. But even in those movies themselves, the Infinity War and Endgame, there is so much else going on. It's not all around magic. There's characters that we get to see, characters that have developed. Wonder Woman has not had that chance to develop, and neither did any of the other characters. But Wonder Woman herself was also very uninteresting. He was very uninteresting. Gal Gadot, beautiful woman, gorgeous woman. I do not like her as an actress. I have yet to see anything impressive from her. What's his face? Chris Pine. Chris Pine. I mean, he did a good job. I don't really see why his character was there. I guess his character was there just because Diana needed to learn how to let go. But he really didn't need to be brought back. I mean, he died a hero. He died in a explosion, if I remember correctly. But there was really no purpose in having them in this movie whatsoever, except to show the power of the plot that I'm not gonna go into because I don't want to spoil. Um, but I didn't see the point of him. I didn't see the point of two villains. They honestly should have just focused on one. And her character was very selfish, very uninteresting. I don't want to go into why she was selfish because then that would be giving away the plot. But essentially, she has a choice to make, and she's making the selfish one. That's all that is. The action sequences were actually a little weird too. Um, there was scenes where you'd see Diana moving, or like the running ones where you see her running and her body doesn't look like it's moving fast enough to go at that speed. Like if you've ever seen like cheap movies where you see people running fast and their legs aren't really moving that fast, kind of like they're on a treadmill. So it literally looked like she was running on a treadmill across the street or something. So that didn't really look good to me, but it wasn't just that. It was the action sequences in general. The way she'd be going around with the lasso and everything, the whip. It just looked really weird. I didn't enjoy that. It looked very. It didn't look smooth. It did not look smooth at all in the MCU. You see them fighting. A lot of it, some of it's CGI. It's okay, but it still looks right. It still has a beginning, and there's no point where it just looks so fake that I can just immediately spot it. But in this movie, I spotted everything, every bit of CGI, every time that whip caught onto something and she was just flying around, and it literally looked so fake. But the one that got to me was the running. The running was just, oh my gosh, it was so awful. Oh, but yeah, that's essentially what I thought of it. There's not really much to say. This video should have obviously been done a week back because a lot of people have watched this movie already. It should have been done a week ago. I had intended to release it on Christmas Day, but I don't know, the Christmas holiday, New Year's, very personal time of year for me, so I was procrastinating a lot. But hey, I started the new year off with this video, and I hope to do many more, and I'll catch you in the next video.